Greetings friends, Jawless Paul here. Wanted to talk a little bit about something that a lot of people have brought up at during my streams about Hades and Hades 2, asking me whether or not I thought that they should start with Hades before they played Hades 2. You know, with any sequel, there's a question of whether or not you're going to miss something, or if there's some story element that is important as you're kind of going from one game to the other. And so I wanted to make a video just kind of talking about that a little bit. I came up with some some ideas, some thoughts about what you might consider if you were not sure which one to start with. You had heard about both and thought maybe you'd give one a try. I'm gonna make myself a little bit smaller here. As far as the story goes, Hades and Hades 2 are not directly linked in terms of like the story. There's nothing about the story of Hades 1 that will inform the story of Hades 2. Like, you don't need anything to have a good time and kind of get the reality of what's going on and why it's important, etc. But I will say that the characters that you meet in Hades 1, if you've spent a lot of time in Hades 1 and you've gone through that story, then the things that are happening to those characters in Hades 2, which you only really get like a little bit of a glimpse of, those are more impactful, I guess, if you've played Hades 1 and you know who all these people are and why they matter to you. So characters like Zagreus and Hades and Zagreus's mother and stepmom and all these characters that you grow to love and really care about in Hades 1, they're in dire peril in Hades 2. That's not spoiling anything to say that, by the way. However, I would say though that a lot of the urgency that I felt when I was playing Hades 2 kind of was really built on what I had kind of grown to love in Hades 1, I guess, or the characters I had grown to love. However, it, like I said, doesn't really tie together. So should you start with one or the other? I mean, I guess it all depends on what you're looking for. If it's in terms of gameplay, you know, Hades 1 is extremely fun to play. I just actually reinstalled it. What you're watching behind you is a game that I played just today, actually. And it was really, really fun to jump back in and to just get a cool build going with Zeus cast and just kind of play around. It was super, super fun. I think that this game is super polished and really, really enjoyable. There's nothing, I mean, does it feel a little bit older than Hades 2? Yes. Hades 2 has, it just feels more deep, like higher resolution for some reason is kind of what I think about. Like all the images and the environments are more detailed and more interesting. But it you know, they're both extremely fun gameplay wise. There's some changes in Hades 2. Again, more complexity added with Hades 2. But yeah, they're both very, very fun games. A lot more systems to learn in Hades 2, I would say as well. So yeah, if you're the pros of starting with Hades is that you get that background story, you get to meet some of those characters that you're gonna hear about in Hades 2. It's gonna be a cheaper game because you're buying it now rather than buying it you know, when it first came out. These games are already extremely high value for what you're paying. Some of the cons of starting with Hades is maybe it's not as exciting as playing the new game, right? Like when there have been some games that haven't jumped on board with the franchise until the second game, and I was like, I really want to start with the second game because it looks better than when I go back and watch gameplay footage of the first game. So maybe that's the case for you. So if you feel like it's going to be a letdown to start with Hades 1, you know, both of these games require not a huge time investment, but a fairly significant time investment to get through all the content and to truly enjoy it, I think, as much as they can be enjoyed. So if you're going to get burned out on it by playing Hades 1, then maybe that's not a great idea. And then pros of starting with Hades 2. right? Like almost everything that you're gonna love about Hades is also in Hades 2. It's got a lot of the same kind of roguelike mechanics where you're building your character up and getting stronger and stronger until the end of the game, when you know, kind of like test your mettle, like how good was this build that you put together as you fight the final boss, and just kind of see what, you know, how good is this, right? It's fun to test that out, and you'll get that same feeling in Hades 2. Like I said before, the character and level design and all of that there's more, it feels like there's a little bit more polish, or maybe it's just like I said earlier, it just kind of feels higher resolution. Everything about the game just feels to be higher res. So and also the systems are more complex. And so that could be a cool thing. But once again, that could be a bad thing. If you start with Hades 2 and you get used to all these really complex systems, maybe Hades 1 would feel too simple. I don't know. I guess I'm not really sure. Oh, I'm going to take this moment. If you're still watching at this point in the video, would you hit that hype button? I guess there's a hype button now with YouTube, and if you hype it, it doesn't cost you anything, but it just tells YouTube that you're excited about this video. I would really appreciate it if you want to do that. Also, if you want to subscribe, you know, that's cool too. We also stream on Saturday mornings on Twitch and YouTube. So in conclusion, I think you can't really go wrong starting with either of these games. And for that matter, you should also check out the rest of Supergiant's catalog. Supergiant started a long time ago. Bastion came out, in 2011. 2011. So a long time ago. Bastion has come out. That is an excellent game. There's also a game called Transistor that's super good that Supergiant put out. And then finally, there's a game called Pyre. They get weirder as they go. Bastion is a pretty straightforward hack and slash game with a cool story and a really cool environment to explore. And then Transistor is kind of like a turn-based thing. And then Pyre is like a weird sports game of some kind. So they're very good games. Go ahead and go back and check those out too. I think that they're all worth playing, and you'll have a good time if you check them out. Supergiant is just a really solid developer if you haven't checked them out yet. And you've just heard about Hades and Hades 2. Well, you owe it to yourself to go back and see some of this older stuff too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this video was informative. I'm going to end the video with some footage of my fight against the final boss of Hades, which if you haven't played Hades or seen any gameplay footage, maybe don't watch it, but I just wanted to include it because it was fun. It was a fun thing to do, especially after, I don't know, I haven't played this game in years, and then I had played for many hundreds of hours in the past, and so it was fun to jump back into it. So if you want to watch that, stick around. Otherwise, we'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.
Wasted effort. close call.
No squirming out of this. You stubborn. You shrug off death as though it means nothing to you. See you at home.
That's that then. I did it.